my second video on the spirit of the buffalo, and I wanted to share with you the first of two things that the buffalo suggested I do. If you listened to my earlier video, you know I had been feeling overwhelmed. I was confused in a couple of my friendships, and I felt somewhat at a crossroads. I had a lot of things I wanted to do, but I felt like I was spinning my wheels and I had no traction and I had no inspiration for a plan. So one of the first things that was suggested in this channeling was a process I call dying while alive. That's what was suggested of me, and I know that this process is heavily embedded in shamanism, but I don't know much about shamanism. I just know what I've experienced myself, so we'll take it from there. The idea is that whatever it is that's got you, whatever story, whatever human earth school story has got you scared or sad or worried or anxious or any other negative emotion, the power of it is, in truth, a story. And if you can sit with this story, and you can do a meditation or sit in quiet, whatever's comfortable for you, but by sitting still and in quiet and allowing this story to, it's almost like envision drowning in an enclosed space in a sci-fi movie where somebody's got this liquid coming up, 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 and there's this moment of pure panic where the liquid overcomes you, but then after that worst moment of fear and after that worst moment of panic, boom, suddenly you're breathing this liquid. You're completely alive and you are safely breathing in this new sci-fi liquid. That's a really weird example, but I've seen that in movies and that's what it reminds me of. So for me, what I took was the situation with my friendships. Since getting really sick, I'd had a lot of my friendships burn away and there were not a lot of people left standing. And it had really plagued me. It had made me feel insecure, and I love my friends. I have always been someone, maybe it's because I'm an only child, but that's always meant a lot to me. They're like my tribe. They always have been, whether or not I was married, whether or not I have a boyfriend. So my situation was a true kind of a fear, and the story was, this is it. What if everyone leaves my life? I have two really close best friends, and that was on my mind, and it was not based in reality, but because of the recent circumstances with so many people having exited my life, I was in this phase of, again, just total overwhelm, where this fearful thought of, what if my two closest friends left too? How would I make it? How would that be? And so the buffalo suggestion was die while alive, take the situation, die to it. So I did. And what that process is situating yourself in a safe, quiet place. And if this feels overwhelming to you, if your intuition is telling you like, hey, that's too much for right now, trust that. And what I would suggest for you to do is maybe ask a trusted friend to do this with you, to sit with you and hold space with you. That really does have the effect of you're having two of you with two loving hearts absorb this energy. So again, if this comes across to you and you're like, whoa, I'm not sure, consider trying to do this with a close and trusted friend. But I actually sat in my pyramid. That's where I like to do a lot of my meditation. And I got quiet, I called in my guides, I connected myself, and I'm actually going to show you, the buffalo gave me a sacred symbol to both ground myself and connect myself to my star families and the light beings and so forth. And I'm going to share that sacred symbol with you in tomorrow's video. But for right now, I grounded myself, I stretched myself upwards, and then I put my hand on my heart, which is what I do often, and I imagined, what if my two closest friends did leave? What would that be like? How would that feel? And I allowed myself to imagine this. And a couple things happen with this. First off, you do see right away, and this is like the most practical benefit. Right away, when you are playing this scenario out, you see that you are not going to die. Maybe the situation feels like you wouldn't be able to go on. But again, that's more of an emotional reaction. That's more of an emotional response. You actually won't die, whatever it is that's happening, if it is fear-based only. If it is not something that is, in fact, truly in your space right then and there, about to kill you, that's a different situation. This video is not about that. This is about those things that you know you are mentally in a rut about, that really have taken control over a lot of your headspace, and you know that's not the appropriate level that they should be operating on. So I imagined this, and right away I started crying. It broke my heart. I would never want for that to happen. These two women mean the world to me. But I saw like what would happen. And in my mind's eye, I'm playing this out. In my heart, I'm playing this out. And I'm going through a couple scenarios. I've still got my two children. That is a solid repository for me always to pour my love into. I still have God. I still have all of my guides. I could see how I could stretch myself and get out and about more and perhaps meet new people. I've done that before with dating. I kind of had to do that after I got divorced. That was really strange and really scary, but I stretched myself there and I started putting myself out there more and saying yes to invitations and being uncomfortable. I don't like small talk, you know. I'd much rather be asking you your most personal question, which is not totally appropriate either, but I'm crying, I'm feeling the hurt of these two women leaving, but I'm also simultaneously actually coming up with some ideas. And again, right away I see, I'm not really gonna die. It would just feel that way. But I do know from my divorce that even that would be temporary. And it is a very emotional meditation to do this kind of a thing. I cried hard. But I could tell when it was subsiding. I could tell when a bunch of these scenarios had played out in my head. I could tell things were winding down, and I trusted that. And I closed the meditation. From there on, that fearful story did not park itself front and center in my mind space. I've done this before on other matters. This is the most recent one I've done this on. It's not pleasant, but it is really effective. It really calls bullshit on these stories. And it, in essence, shows yourself, proves to you, to your inner self, yes, this would hurt, but ... So I encourage you to try this for anything like this. It really does spring forward an incredible transformation. And even just that practical, very first practical noticing that comes along with seeing life would not stop. I would carry on. Naturally, your mind is going to start springing up these solutions or alternative avenues of action. And that alone, if that's as far as you get, that's fine. Or if it's as far as you get that you cry, that's all right too, because you are releasing a lot of energy that's been stuck in there and it's not serving you. So I guess my point is, no matter what happens during this time, if you do try this, it's perfect. And it will move you up and out, which moves you forward. It will get things going. It will get you somewhat, to some degree, unstuck. So I hope this helps. And definitely try it out and let me know how it goes. Thanks so much. All my thanks and love.